Okay. Is it visible to see the screen? Anyone tell me? It's okay. Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is water treatment. We are going to see that one. Wastewater treatment. One of the another topic. Why is drinking water treatment? Next, wastewater treatment. Why it's needed? What's the purpose of wastewater treatment? The purpose to manage water discharge from homes, business, and industries to reduce the threat of water pollution is the main goal. Threat of reduce the threat of reduce the threat of water pollution. This is the main purpose, right? To manage the water discharge from home, mainly in municipal areas and some and industries. So wastewater should be treated to reduce the pollution, water pollution. Then second reason to eliminate the offensive smell, to remove solid content of the sewage, to destroy the disease causing microorganism. This is the main reason to destroy the disease causing microorganism. One, to destroy the disease causing microorganism, right? These are the reasons. Then these are the types of treatments: preliminary treatment, primary treatment, secondary treatment, tertiary treatment, sludge biosolids disposal. These are the categories: preliminary treatment, primary treatment, secondary, and tertiary. We can see some definitions. Preliminary treatment. It's a main things. These are the main things. They remove the large objects and non-degradable materials. Non-degradable material. What's the meaning? Non-degradable material. So like polythenes, couldn't degrade. Polythene and yeah, something like that. Like that. Protects pumps and equipment from damage. Bar greens, grid chamber, right? These are the things. Remove the large objects and non-degradable materials. Then preliminary treatment. This is the arrangement. Filters large objects that have gotten into sewage system, such as bricks, bottles, pieces of wood, etc. This is the preliminary system. So, you see this is bar screen system. Then a grid chamber, remove the ropes, gravels, broken glass, etc. And mesh screen, remove the diapers, foams, towels, plastic bags, syringes, etc. Right? Preliminary treatment to remove the debris and grit. And grid chamber, velocity slow showcase, velocity slows, force, grid, and this one. The primary treatment, a physical process, wastewater flow is slowed down, suspended suspended solids, solids set to the bottom by gravity. This is the primary treatment. Coagulant added. Coagulant means one of the chemicals. It's make the precipitation. The small particles make a bigger particles. So this one coagulant precipitate trapping in impurities and precipitate and trapped impurities settle to bottom. Secondary treatment, it is a biological process. Biodegradable organic wastes are removed by aeration bacteria. It removes 90% of oxygen demanding waste done by drilling filter or activated sludge. Okay, activated sludge process. Second is the secondary treatment. Then drilling filter. Drilling filter. This is the sewage drips and some of the arrangements rotating arm with simply bacterial growth dropped with simply bacterial, yeah, this one. And trickling filter, this term air influent treated water, recycled sludge and clarifier filter effluent, air domed enclosure. The pump, the activated sludge process supply aeration, final sedimentation output. This is the schematic diagram, activated sludge. What's the meaning of sludge? That means like you can imagine the mud. Make an active sludge tank, final sedimentation. That means make a particle, precipitated particles in the activated sludge tank. Apply aeration, return activated sludge. Excess sludge output, return activated sludge. So wastewater treatment, from secondary treatment on trickling filter, water flows to the final clarifiers for further removal of sludge. The final clarifier are another set of primary sedimentation tanks. From final clarifiers, the water is discharged back to the one of the river, the Mississippi River. in the US, right? Then wastewater treatment. The final clarifiers remove the additional sludge, further reduces the suspended solids and BOD. We know BOD, what's the meaning of biological oxygen demand. Territory treatment, disposal of sludge of biosolids. The sludge undergoes lime stabilization. pH is raised by addition of lime. Then this is the territory treatment. Disposal of sludge or biosolids. The sludge undergoes lime stabilization. pH is raised by addition of lime to kill the potential pathogens. To kill the this one. To kill the potential pathogens. So you can understand this one. The pH is raised by the addition of lime. Right? The stabilized sludge and applied if by injection to agricultural field. This is the territory treatment. Territory treatment means remove the disease causing organism from wastewater. Remove the disease. Remove the disease causing organisms from wastewater. Three different disinfection processes. Normally, you know this one, the chlorination. We do the chlorination in the well for drinking water purpose. So to kill the microorganism, chlorination to the well. So likewise, this is the known procedure, the chlorination. But in the wastewater treatment, we have to know the concentration. How much could we input the chlorination, amount of chlorination, yeah, like that. So normally you know how much amount of chlorine you store in well in your house. So it's like normally we use the matchbox amount, matchbox of amount chlorine can be added into the well. That's the approximate measurement. Or one matchbox or two matchbox weighing chlorine, we can add into the well. Likewise, in wastewater treatment or major water treatment plant, chlorine should be added. Why? To disinfection process, to remove the microorganism or to kill the microorganism. So normally, you know, the three different infection process: chlorination, UV light radiation, ozonation, like the process, right? The chlorination, most common two forms: liquid chlorine, sodium hypochlorite chloride tablets. I think it is available in water supply drainage board. This one, what sodium hypochlorite tablets. Advantages. What's the advantage? Low cost and effective. Disadvantage: chlorine residue could be harmful. to the environment. Okay, this one. Chlorine dose. The chlorine distribution dose design guidelines for on-site applications. Calcium hypochlorite, septic tank effluent, biological treatment effluent, sand filter effluent. pH 6. pH 6 is equal to 35 to 50, 15 to 30 to 50. This is a pH level. Calcium hypochlorite. The chlorine disinfection dose in milligram per liter. Design guidelines for on-site application. pH 6. pH 7 is neutral, the pure water, It's a little bit base, little bit acidic content. So pH 6, it's a little bit acidic stage. Septic tank effluent, pH 6, 35 to 50. Biological treatment effluent, this one. So we can add up to this level, pH 7. pH 7 is normally neutral, this one. For the 45 to 50 ml, we can add this chlorine amount. Biological treatment effluent, 25 to 35. So this is the adaptable level. This one, right? pH 7. So we can add 45 to 55 in milligram per liter. Note contact time 1 hour, average flow temperature 20 degrees Celsius. Increase the contact time 2 hours at 10 degrees Celsius and 8 hours at 5 degrees Celsius. Comparable efficiency dose milligram per liter as chlorine. Doses assume typical chlorine demand are conservative estimates based on fecal coliform data. So one of the another by the disinfection with the UV. What's the meaning UV? UV means ultraviolet light. Where is ultraviolet rays coming from? Normally, in sun rays, it consists ultraviolet. UV rays, you heard about heard about that one. That word ultraviolet. The damage the genetic structure of bacteria, virus, and other pathogens. Wavelength 20 to 54 nanometer. Nm means nanometer, the thickness. Advantages: no chemical are used. Water taste more natural. Disadvantage: high maintenance of UV lamp. Chat, anyone chat me? Okay, okay. Disadvantages: high maintenance UV lamp. So UV light is produced on lamp in laboratories. One of the sodium, you heard about the one of the sodium lamp. It produced the waves. So like we normally see that we are using that lights in. This is the radiation, the tube bulb and tube bulb light. So one of the lamp is UV lamp. ultraviolet, right? It's the process wastewater flowing towards UV unit. One typical UV lamp housed in hot sleeve. One typical UV lamp. Here, this one. And flow parallel to the UV lamp. Flow parallel. Flow and flow in. Flow means there's a wastewater. Flow into the flow into the this tube. So consists the UV lamp, right? Process. So ozonation. What's the meaning ozonation? What's the that's a ozone you heard about. The Earth consists one of the ozone layer. It protects the Earth from the harmful radiation from sunlight. You already heard about this ozone layer effect, ozone layer hole. Some of the words you have already heard about. Some of the organization like UNO also, some of the give some warning about ozone layer hole. What's the effect to Earth? Already I told this harmful radiation penetrate into the Earth, and human beings and other beings, other living things, they're affected, and it makes some diseases. What is the causes for holes arising in ozone? You already heard about this one. The LPG, sorry, the chlorofluorocarbon. It produced from fridge. That gas produced the holes in ocean. So main fact, main thing. And nowadays that the fridge are modernized, then it component not include that CFC gas component. And previous and old fridge types consist that the CFC gas. So that's one. So ozonation. This one also to use the to you use for disinfection process. In I heard about in that's in tube train in Europe I think in UK that they use the ozonation to for a disinfection process in the underground drain in UK and other countries, other Europe countries. Yeah, but the oxidized most pathogenic agrochemical advantages safer than chlorination, pure disinfection byproduct, no residual ocean degrades to O2. Disadvantage high cost, need equipments and electricity. What's the components of ocean? O3 it's depicted as O3. Oxygen, three molecules. Wastewater treatment, disposal of sludge, disposal of biosolids, landfill disposal discontinued to the threat of leachate. Incineration discontinued because of ineffectiveness and cost. The wastewater plant labs conducts number of measurements and test on the water, suspended solids, temperature, BOD nitrogen, pH phosphorus. What can be effluent used? Discharge into the stream, river, bay, lagoon or wetland. It is sufficiently clean. It can be used for groundwater recharge, used for irrigation of golf course, greenway or park, right? Then ozonization. We'll see. This is the oxidization pathogenic microorganism. Advantages safer than chlorination, fewer disinfection byproduct, disadvantage, high cost. The what can effluent used for? The discharge into the stream, river, bay, lagoon, or wetland, used for irrigation of golf courses, greenway, or park. If it is sufficiently clean, it can be used for groundwater recharge. This is the advantage of removal. Nitrogen removal, ammonia, NH3 nitrite is converted as NO2 and NO3 minus, a soluble condition. NO3 minus, this is the gas, NO2, ammonia, this is a solid, ammonia is NH3, is the gas in the soluble content. The phosphorus removal, the precipitation with iron or aluminum salts lead to eutrophication, many cause algae bloom. Sludge treatment. Primary sludge usually have strong odors. Secondary sludge have high concentration of microorganisms. Goals of treatments are reduce odors, remove water, reduce volume, decompose organic matter. Untreated sludge are about 19 percentage water. Settling can reduce 90 to 96 percentage water. A dried sludge is called sludge cake. Is the precipitation. One of the sludge. You can understand. This is the sludge. Right? The three different sludge treatments: aerobic digestations, anaerobic digestations, composting. Aerobic digestion. I already explained what's the meaning aerobic and anaerobic. You can understand. The oxygen is react with CH components called aerobic. Anaerobic means another component. Produce the oxygen gas. Normally H2O, CO2, aerobic oxygen. Aerobic condition is consist only condition is oxygen. Anaerobic condition it's need not contain oxygen gas like H2S hydro. What's the mean? H2S hydrosulfide gas. That is H2S, NH3, NH3, and NH2 are anaerobic reaction. right? Aerobic digestion, bacterial process need oxygen. Here, you see, need oxygen. Consume organic matter, convert into carbon dioxide. Anaerobic digestion, bacterial process, do not require oxygen, consume organic matter, produce biogas, like I already told, biogas. What's the meaning? The CH4, methane gas, ethane. This is the produced biogas, which can be used in generators for electricity. Right? Aerobic process. Aerobic process requires the correct mix of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and water with sludge. Generate large amount of heat. This is the combustion process. Aerobic process requires the correct mix of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and water with sludge. Generate the large amount of generate large amount of heat. The sludge disposal, superheat sludge and convert into small granules that are rich in nitrogen. Sell to local farmer as fertilizers. It's one important thing. So it's converted as a fertilizer. Selling to local farmers, suspended sludge and convert into small granules are rich in nitrogen, cylinder converted as fertilization. So sludge can be converted as fertilization. Spread sludge cake on the field, save the landfill station. Right? This is the summary of the sludge treatment process. So you can get the idea what's the meaning of sludge. Sludge and sludge disposal and conversion as fertilization. So you can get some idea about sludge and sludge removal and combustion. This is the important thing. Aerobic digestion, anaerobic digestion. So you have to know that what is the meaning aerobic condition, anaerobic condition. Aerobic condition, oxygen is compulsory thing, oxygen gas. Anaerobic no need the oxygen content. So you can understand aerobic and anaerobic. And CH4 is the resultant of anaerobic condition and aerobic. So this is the meaning, right? This is the advanced treatment. Sorry. This is the advanced treatment. Preliminary treatment, primary treatment, secondary treatment, final treatment, right? This is the select digestion. Digestion, do you normally you heard that's the word, and we stomach digestion, the food digestion. Likewise, select also Digestion is the important in our body also. Digestion. And this one, right? The sludge treatment and land applications. Sludge converted as fertilizer, right? This is a second treatment, final. This one interesting things, right? Okay. Anything about you can ask summary. So this is the anaerobic, so you can get some idea. Aerobic digestion, the food digestion in the stomach. That's a word, the same word. The digestion, the different sludge treatments. So this one important thing. Anaerobic digestion and aerobic digestion, anaerobic digestion, composting, right? The sludge treatment, this one, the primary sludge usually have strong odors. Odors means there's a blurring in the, we already studied the odors. Uh, Pure water, no, have no odors. The properties of the good water, no odor, no taste, no color, pH neutral is the one like approximately. So this one, right, sludge treatment. Advanced treatment, it consists nitrogen removal and lead normally developed countries consist this the wastewater treatment arrangement. Normally developing countries normally doesn't have words and rules and law. They are it should be wastewater treatment plants should be constructed during the construction of industry or other things. But normally they didn't follow this one. Follow. Simply they passed into some rivers or some ocean influence, like I think you can see some of the examples. Some tire industry, they tire industry waste. They pass the waste into the river. One of the river, I think, Kalani River. I already seen it when I think in 2000, yeah, 2000, yeah. That waste is passed into the river, but actually they can't pass into the river because water is polluted. So that's one of the example, right? You also see some of that, but the culinary trade industry, they did like this. This is the ozonization, oxidized most pathogenic microorganism, advantages safer than chlorination, a fewer disinfection byproduct, disadvantage high, right? Ozonization. So you have to understand what is the ozone. You already heard about ozone layer in air, right? So the wastewater plants lab conducts number of measurements and based on the water. This one, the pH test, we have to do this one. The suspended, how much suspended solid and BOD, pH, temperature, nitrogen, phosphorus. Right. So you can get the idea. This is suspended solids. What's the suspended solids? What's the example? Like plastic. Plastic is a suspended solid. It is not sink into the water, but it can suspend. And garbages and some of the wooden particles are suspended solid. POD, pH. And temperatures, nitrogen, phosphorus. Right? Wastewater treatment, disposal of sludge, this one. Biosolids, landfill disposal continue to the treatment of leachate. The incineration is continue. This is the chlorination loss. Territory treatment. Remove the territory treatment means the mainly remove the disease causing organism from wastewater, right? Different disinfection, so UV, most adopted method in our country is chlorination. Not using the UV light radiation or ozonization, which is because it is expensive procedure, ozonization and radiation, right? Territory treatment, I may ask the question, what's the meaning of territory treatment? So you can simply try disposal of sludge or biosolids. The sludge undergoes slime. What's the value? What's the thing in this one? Lime. Already seen in this one. It is natural thing. Available in you. So lime is the main component of manufacturing of cement. You heard about this one. Limestone. Lime stabilization pH is tried by raised by addition of lime to kill potential pathogens. The stabilized like is the land applied injection the agricultural fields. This one also uh, important factor, remarkable factor. This one. The stabilized silage is applied by injection into the agricultural fields like fertilization. So the fertilizer urea. What's the main component? Urea is component of NH3, nitrogen, and three molecules of hydrogen. NH3. NH3 is the main component, but molecule container consists more, furthermore. NH3 and I think some of the molecules are contained. NH3 is the gas. It converts that into solid particles. Urea is a solid particles. and soluble particles also. It can soluble in water. Right? The territory treatment. The wastewater treatment. This is the treatment plant. The final clarifiers remove the additional sludge, and further reduce the suspended solids BOD. Wastewater treatment from secondary treatment on the treatment filter, water flows to the final clarifiers for the further removal of sludge. The final clarifiers are another set of primary sedimentation tank. From final clarifiers, the water is discharged back to the river, Mississippi River, right? This is the schematic diagram of activated sludge process. So you can get the idea about sludge process. Finally, sludge converted as fertilization. Activated sludge process, activated sludge tank, final sedimentation, the coagulant adding, the mixing pan, this one, right? The return activated sludge, excess sludge. So you can get the idea about the primary treatment, the wastewater treatment purpose, the wastewater discharged from homes, business, and industries to reduce the threat of water pollution, to eliminate offensive smell, remove solid content of the sewage. This is the testing procedure, steps of the wastewater treatment. Preliminary treatment, primary treatment, secondary treatment, tertiary treatment, sludge biosolids disposal. Preliminary treatment removes the large objects and non-degradable materials, right? This is not important thing. So we will see there is one important points. This one see already see this one for treatment. Then see anaerobic. This one let's say this for some others. Right, this one aerobic. We already seen aerobic wastewater treatment. Aerobic process use bacteria that require oxygen. So aerobic wastewater treatment. Aerobic process use bacteria that require oxygen. So air is circulated through the treatment tank. Right? Within the wastewater, some systems utilized pre-treatments prior to the main treatment to reduce the chance of clogging system. What's the meaning clogging? . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . Clocking means this obstruct with the thick or sticky matter. Yeah, one of the examples, cars blocked in the highway. The jamming, vehicle jam. So like that's a meaning. The clocking means like that one. The hinder object with the stick. In single words, avahira vima. Clocking means avahira vima. The jamming, jammer. So like it's a clocking. So you can understand the meaning. The clocking. Anaerobic process used bacteria require oxygen, so air is circulated through the treatment tank. These aerobic bacteria then break down the waste. Aerobic require oxygen, so circulated through the treatment tank. These aerobic bacteria then break down waste within the wastewater. Some systems utilize pre-treatment state prior to the main treatment to reduce the chance, the clocking. So you can understand. Some system utilize pre-treatment state prior main treatment reduce the chance of clocking. Clocking means the jamming, so make so prohibit the clocking system. Advantages: minimum order, large BOD removal providing good quality effluent, high rate treatment with less land requirement. Final discharge may contain DO, which reduce the immediate OD receiving water. So you can understand the aerobic wastewater treatment. What is the example? Aerobic. Some of the gas, effluent, H2S, H4, CO2 gas is aerobic or anaerobic. So aerobic means it's require CO2 gas. Aerobic and anaerobic is aerobic gas. Right. Electricity is required. Electricity is required for the system operation. Advantages: minimum order, large POD removal, providing good quality effluent. What's the meaning for effluent? Quality effluent. Quality effluent. Effluent means effluent. Effluent means abavahana. Abavahana called Abhavahana is a effluent, right? The waste like wastewater. The main word, the important word is effluent meaning. Effluent is a word, the liquid waste or sewage. In singular called Abhavahana, effluent, the liquid waste or sewage discharge into the. So you have to understand it's a main word, important word to this one. Effluent, liquid waste or sewage discharge into a river or sea. Singular කියන අබවහන or අබජලය all the same, right? Hydrated effluent, good quality effluent. So understand this word. The abavahana or sewage discharge the sewage water into the river or this one effluent. So when you have a sewage effluent, so you can get some idea. That's about the effluent. High rate treatment with less and land requirement. High high rate treatment with less land requirements. Final discharge may contain DO, which reduces the immediate OD. What's the meaning OD? Oxygen demand. Because DO means dissolved oxygen. OD means oxygen demand on receiving water, right? This is the disadvantages. Energy cost of aeration at an adequate rate to maintain DO level needed. Some organics can be efficiently decomposed aerobically. These biologically non-reactive components, mainly composed of insoluble materials, can account for 70% COD. What's the meaning COD? Chemical oxygen demand. BOD likewise COD and as you can get the idea about BOD. Microorganism consume oxygen. The called BOD likewise chemical materials like if we iron manganese consume some organisms react to not consume it's react with oxygen. So normally reduce the oxygen level in the water. And BOD in BOD the microorganism consume the oxygen. In COD the chemical minerals or chemical material react with oxygen. So normally iron plus oxygen. It use the oxygen. So normally reduce the concentration of oxygen. You understand? Fe plus O2, Fe2O3, or FeO, Fe2 plus O2 O3. So Fe2 minus plus O2, Fe2 plus O2. So FeO. ferric oxide. That's one of the precipitation, FeO. FeO is twice. That's a corrosion. So your little bit things you heard about this, right? Reduction in storage capacity of lagoons and ponds. The activated sludge process, the process for treating sewage or industrial wastewater using aeration and biological flow. It composed of bacteria and protozoa. What's it called? Protozoa. Protozoa means the single cell macroscopic animal or group of phyla. Kingdom is the amoeba, like one, right? So you can understand this one. Protozoa, bacteria and amoeba. This word, so you can understand this one. Protozoa means amoeba. Is biological process that can be used for oxidation, oxiding carbonous process, carbonization and biological matters, oxidizing nitrogen matters in H3 and N2, removing the nutrients N and P. Aeration methods, diffused aeration, surface aerators and pure oxygen, right? So what's the meaning diffused aeration? Aeration. You have to understand this one, aeration. Aeration is called in singular Vadaniya. Vadaniya. Vadaniya cream. So oxidization in the water. The Vadaniya means, right? Aeration. Aeration, the important word in sewage treatment. So you have to understand what's the meaning of this aeration, sludge, and some of the important main words they are in sewage treatment. So aeration is called the introduction of air into the material. So normally inject of the air. You can understand the aeration. Inject the air into the material. It's called aeration, right? In singular called Vadane cream, Vadane cream, right? Mm, so understand this. Protozoa means amoeba, right? The oxidization, carbonaceous material, biological material, and removing the nitrogens, aeration methods, diffused aeration surface, aerators, and pure oxygen aeration, right? So activated sludge. So you have to understand this word also. Activated sludge process. Sludge blankets is measured from the bottom of the clarifier. The sludge volume index is volume of settled sludge in millimeter occupied by a gram of uh, okay, sludge volume index is volume of settled sludge in millimeter occupied by 1 gram dry sludge solids. So you have to understand the sludge words. What's the mean the actual words? We see sludge. Sludge. Single kina run mada sludge. Run mada or yeah, run mada. Run mada. Mada is called sludge. In English, sludge. So like mud. The definition, right? Sludge called. I already told that thick, soaked, wet to mud. Thick, soaked, wet to mud. Similar viscose mixture of liquid and solid components. So simply you can remember. Sludge means the mud. Mud is produced from our well and under the water and river and ponds. It consists the mud like that. Not fully. That's a spot, right? Like you imagine the garbage. So garbage like single uh, round 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 mud. It's a code select because it's the important very important word in the wastewater treatment sludge, right? Mm, okay. So you can study for your knowledge for this one. This one is a very long part, the wastewater treatment. Hmm. The select blanket is measured from bottom of the clarifier. Can understand this one. Bottom of the clarifier. The sludge volume index volume of settled sludge in millimeter occupied by 1 gram of dry sludge. Right. After 30 minutes of settling in a 1,000 milliliter graduated cylinder. Right. The mean cell resistance Time is total mass kilogram of mixed liquid suspended solids in the aerator. Clarifier divided by the mass flow rate. The MLS is so mean cell, one of the calculation parts, this one. Mean cell residence time is the total mass. F by M. F by M is the amount of BOD feed into aerator kilogram per day. Aerator means it's a producer of aeration. Air injector. You understand the aerator is called. Air injector is called aerator. Divided by the amount of ml vs kilogram under air. Some use mixed liquid suspended solids expedients, but mixed liquid volatile suspended solids is considered more accurate. Right, some use mixed liquid suspended solids for expedience, but liquid volatile suspended. Right. Now 11 o'clock, the 15 minutes, sorry, 10 minutes interval. I will come back 10 minutes. I will come back. Right. Okay. The activators like the mean cell residence times total mass kilogram of mixed liquid suspended solids in a reactor clarifier divided by the mass flow rate MLSS effluent. The FM is amount of BOD fed to the aerator kilogram per divided by amount of MLVSS. We will see that what's the meaning MLVSS under aeration. Some use mixed liquid suspended solids for expedience, but mixed liquid volatile suspended solids is considered more accurate for the measure of microorganism. This is the schematic diagram activated sludge process. So sludge means it's making as a map the suspended solid under the water, right? Activated sludge process. The raw water, AR, clarifier settler, treated water, aeration tank. This one. Aeration means injecting the air. Aeration tank, inject the air. Um, Recycle this the clarifier settler, treated water. This one waste sludge treatment, right? The process. Pre-treatment stage to remove the large solids and other undesirable substance. Aeration stage where the aerobic bacteria digest. Biological waste settling stage allows undigested solid. So digestion is the important word. Digestion, but you already heard about in the food digestion in stomach, like right? Digestion. No same word that digestion. Digestion means it's singular Jiranaya. Jiranaya like food digestion and select digestion like the same procedure, same procedure process, right? Food digestion, so food is digest. Select digestion means select is digest. Right? The leaves and other things. Digested means degradable for digestion. So little bit same. Degradation and digest. Right? So you can understand. Mm, So pre-treatment stage, remove the large solids and other undesirable. So this one, right? Remove large solid and undesirable substance, right? Undesirable substance. So aeration stage, they are aerobic bacteria. What's the mean aerobic bacteria? Aerobic bacteria means the bacteria consume the oxygen gas from air. It growth. It can grow. So aerobic bacteria digest the biological waste. So what's the process is happening in aeration stage? Aeration stage means injecting air. That air, the air means the oxygen. Air, oxygen from that air is consumed by bacteria. That is the aerobic bacteria. So you have to understand what's aerobic bacteria. This are digest. Digest means jeeranaya porkena. The biological waste. What's the meaning biological waste? Tell me what's the example biological waste. That's the some of the animals, the dead animals, and like that's the biological waste. So sorry, yeah, biological waste and waste from animals. That's called biological waste. Yeah, the settling stage allow undigested solids to understand. Settling stage allows undigested solids to settle, forms a sludge. So you have to understand what's meaning undigested solid and sludge. Digested, so normally you can understand, digested solid is called sludge. A settling, settling stage allow undigested solid to settle, forms a sludge that must be periodically removed from the system. So this one is important, right? Periodically removed from the system. The disinfection next, uh, disinfecting stage, chlorine or similar disinfectant is mixed with the water to produce an antiseptic output. What's the meaning? The antiseptic. Antiseptic, you see. Antiseptic. In Sinhala කියන විස බීජ නාශක. It's a cold antiseptic is called විස බීජ නාශක. It's a cold. So in English, antiseptic. විස බීජ නාශක. It's a cold antiseptic. විස බීජ නාශක. The meaning, yeah. විස බීජ නාශකයක් is called an antiseptic. Antiseptic. In English, the definition, so in Sinhala කියන විස බීජ නාශක. This antiseptic means the preventing the growth of disease causing microorganism. So you can understand the preventing the growth of disease causing microorganism is called antiseptic, right? So antiseptic output. So the produce an antiseptic out means is a contain non-microorganism output. So it is eliminated or killed by other microorganisms. So You can understand that disinfecting stage we are chlorine or similar word, similar disinfectant. What's the meaning? The disinfectant. Disinfectant means the chlorine gas. Chlorine is the disinfectant. Is is mixed with water to produce an antiseptic output. So in Singalakene, Visabija Nasaga called antiseptic, right? Then it's a filter, the type of filter, the trickling. One of the persons uses is a trickling filter. First used by Dividend and Klaus. It consists of rocks, lava, coke, gravel, slag, polyurethane foam, sphagnum, peat moss, ceramic, or plastic media over which fever flows downward causes microbial slime or grow covering the bed of media. So you have to understand the sand is a good filter. You know, you can understand. Sand or gravel is a very good filter. When we add normally some of the sewage water means consists some of the solid particles and like that. When we add into the earth or soil can penetrate only that water. Understand? It cannot enter the solid particles or other things. So the soil, so gravel, but gravel means what's the meaning gravel? So one of the type of soil. Gravel is a good filter. Likewise, sand also good filter to filter the solid to use to filter the solid particles, right? Right, the gravel for the foam sphagnum bed moss ceramic. This is one type of the material, filter material. Ceramic or plastic media over which sewage flows downward and causes layer of microbial slime to grow the covering the bed of media. Aerobic conditions are maintained by splashing, diffusion, and either by forced air flowing through bed or natural convection. Yeah, the filter medium for us, right? Okay. This is the system rotating influent distributor, domed enclosure media, air, air, injecting air, effluent, media air, filter effluent, clarifier, sludge. One of the treatment plant system, the treated water. So, what's the mean? Influent is the sewage, sewer water. It's AR, this one, okay? Sludge. Right, this one. The process sewage flow enters at the high level and flows through the primary settlement tank. You already see the settlement, what is the sedimentation tank and the settlement tank in studied in drinking water plant, right? The flush of water flows through the arms, exists through a series of holes pointing at an angle downward. This propels the arms around, distributing the liquid evenly over the surface of the filter medium. Both absorption and adsorption. What's the meaning? Absorption and absorption of organic. Adsorption. Ab- Adsorption means avasone, so avasosanaya means called adsorption, but it's a meaning absorption. So it's a, both are different. Adsorption and absorption. Both are same meaning. Avasosanaya is for meaning avasosanaya. The sucking is means in English another word. So avasosanaya and this both are same word. Absorption and absorption, right? Right. This absorption of organic compounds and some inorganic species by the layer of microbial film. The filter media is typically chosen by provide by very high surface area to volume. Passages of wastewater over the media provides DO, which the biofilm layer requires for the biochemical oxygen of the organ. Compounds and releases CO2 gas, water and other oxides and products. As the biofilm layer thickens, it eventually slows off into the liquid flow and subsequently forms part of the secondary slab. So, can understand what's the meaning? The primary slab, secondary slab. That during the second sludge plot, it's the amount of sludge is increased, right? That's the variant difference between primary sludge and secondary sludge. It is increase the amount of sludge condition. So sludge is the important, very important word in wastewater treatment, right? Sludge. Other filters utilizing higher density media do not produce the sludge that must be removed, but require the force air blows and back washing, right? Rotating biological contact. We'll see what's the meaning. Rotating. This is the rotating biological contact. RBC is a short form is type of secondary treatment process. The primary treatment process means removal of grit and sand through screening process followed by settling. This process involves allowing the wastewater to come in contact with the biological medium in order to remove pollutants. So it's important words. It involves allowing wastewater to come in the wastewater in order to in order to remove the pollutants. Remove the pollutants. This is the main process. It consists of series of closely spaced parallel discs mounted on rotating shaft is supported just above surface of the wastewater. The microorganisms grow on the surface of the disk via biological degradation of the wastewater pollutants takes place. Then one media is a sister RBC, the rotating biological conductor. Right? So biofilter. The biofilter is the fixed field process. It is a bed of media which microorganism attached and grow to form biological layer called biofilm. Biofiltration is used to treat wastewater from a wide range sources with varying organic composition and concentration. This process is versatile. It can be adapted to small flows, one less than 1 meter cube per day, as well as to flows generated by municipality. This process is versatile. What's the meaning of the versatile? Bahukarya. Versatile. Means the flexible, the versatile or changeable, right? This one. A versatile is as it can be adapted to small flows. So adaptable. So, versatile means the changeable as it is can be adapted small flows 1 meter cube per day as well as the flows generated by municipality. Less than is the range 2000 to 240 into 10 to the power 4 meter cube per day. That range it can be small to high level. It can be treated, right? The biofilter. But normally you heard about the filter, about the we fix the drinking water purifier in the house. So we will change the filter the time to time based on our use. So you heard about the filter is changed. So the type of likewise the type of filter likewise we use the biofilter. So that is the water filter. Here we are using the biofilter. It filtrate so it filter or remove the microorganism. So you have to understand the biofilter, right? Aerobic aerobic stabilization ponds. Aerobic stabilization ponds. So this one also important. The aerobic. The meaning aerobic. Aerobic means the aeration. Aerobic. Aerobic. So aerobic means rating involving requiring free oxygen. So you can understand the aerobic requiring free oxygen. Requiring free so simply aerobic bacteria means it's require the require to consume the oxygen gas. So simply you can understand it. You remember this one aerobic conditions, anaerobic condition. Aerobic means requiring free oxygen. Yeah, right. Aerobic stabilization, the process of aerobic stabilization ponds. It reduces the organic content measured as BOD and kill the pathogens in the wastewater. The ponds are depression holding water confined by earthen structures after treatment the effluent. So effluent and that you have no effluent means the removing the sewage from the system. Remove all effluent. It's the important word also effluent, right? Effluent. The effluent may be returned to the surface water or reused as irrigation water if the effluent is quality is high enough. So understand that reused as irrigation water. After the treatment of sewage water, it can be sent as the effluent. Effluent means it's remove the water, remove the sewage as treated and send off out. That's the effluent. It can be used, reused re-irrigation water if the effluent is high. And you know, this one, waste stabilization pond use no aerators, no it's instrument, the system, no need. High performance lagoon technology with the aerators has much more command with that of activated sludge. The activated sludge, right? The oxygen supply through the aeration. So you can understand, right? Oxygen supply through aerators, sludge, this one, and the linear. So inlet, outlet. This outlet is called effluent, right? You understand, right? Effluent, right? Aerated lagoon. This system consists of a pond with the artificial aeration to promote the biological oxidation of uh, promote the biological oxidation of wastewater, right? This is the biological oxidation, right? The natural pond, the self-purifying reservoir used to stabilize effluent from the mechanics secondary treatment. Self-purifying reservoir. used to self receiving used to stabilize effluent from mechanics secondary treatment. Maturation ponds receiving waste with low BOD concentration. So you can say meaning the BOD concentration means it's a less microorganism content is available in that water. May be clear through to accomplish pathogen and reduction through exposure to UV solar radiation. The ponds receiving waste with the low BOD concentration may be clear enough to accomplish pathogen reduction through exposure to UV solar radiation. Maturation ponds may be used in combination with the rainwater reservoir to form an ecological swimming pond. The maturation ponds may be used in the combination with rainwater reservoir to form an ecological pond. It should be saturated DO through the India pond and shallow enough or little to penetrate India depth of the pond. It must be shallow with a great surface area so that no oxygen can dissolve into the water, giving the bacteria enough oxygen of properly function. By adding fish ponds, bugs issues are controlled in natural and eco-friendly. This is the pond next one. Fagulative legumes. What's the meaning? The fagulative. We'll see this meaning. The fagulative. English Sinhala called Vijayajaya. Vijayajaya is called the work, especially work hard. This is called fagulance. High work condition. This one, the flocculation, fagulative like it's organic. Previously, we see in this one the natural maturation bond. Maturation means maturation. Maturation, maturation. Maturation means the Parinada Vima. Singalakiyana Parinada Vima in English. This one, here the maturation ponds. The meaning is the maturation is a process of development that occurs as grow and change. Grow and change means it is help to grow the microorganism in the ponds. There is a meaning. The maturation ponds. You can understand what's the meaning of the maturation. Maturation is called is improve to grow the microorganism. That's the thing. In this process, the self-curing reservoir used to stabilize effluent, second treatment. This maturation ponds receiving the waste with the low BOD concentration may be clear. Low, so low. You can understand. Low BOD means it's a less amount of microorganism here. So, but we have to increase the amount of microorganism in this pond. That's a meaning, the maturation pond. The maturation pond may be used in the combination with the rainwater reservoir into form an ecological swimming pond. It should be saturated DO throughout entire pond, shallow enough for light to penetrate the entire depth of pond. It must be shallow grade surface. More oxygen can dissolve into the water giving bacteria. And now oxygen into properly function, right? Organic waste from the flood fiber processing may be catabolized in a system of constructed ponds via adequate space is available to provide an average waste retention time exceeding 1. So we can see the organic waste from the flood of fiber processing may be catabolized. Catabolized means the categorized in a system constructed ponds where the adequate space is available provide an average waste retention time. I already explained the what's the meaning of the retention time and detention time period. So that's one, right? A series of ponds prevents mixing of untreated waste with the treated wastewater and allows better control of waste residence time, uniform treatment efficient. Then okay, this is one anaerobic lagoon. Lagoon means do you know like pond. Anaerobic lagoon filled with animal waste undergoes anaerobic respiration. Respiration means the reaction. The manure settles into two layer solids, sludge layer and liquid layer. The volatile organic compounds are converted into CO2. CO2 means carbon dioxide and methane. Normally we use for the LPG gas in our cooking room, right? Normally you know CH4 is used in LPG gas. Right, CO2. This allows preliminary sedimentation of suspended solids as pre-treatment process. These substances are estimated through two main pathways: gas emission and lagoon overflow. The gas emissions are continuous. The most prevalent gases emitted by the lagoon in estuary the anaerobic reactions, which one? It's arise from anaerobic reactions. So you remember this one, next is the ammonia, hydrogen sulfide. It's where it's produced. Simply, one of the egg, the expired egg produce this gas. Expired means the long term will they is not using long term, and after long term and when we use that time, that it produce that the gas, the H2 gas, and CO2 and the CH4, right? Carbon dioxide and methane. So you see, anaerobic wastewater treatment. Anaerobic wastewater treatment. The anaerobic bacteria transform organic matter in the wastewater into the biogas that contain anaerobic bacteria transform organic matter in the wastewater into biogas that contains large amounts of methane gas and carbon dioxide, right? Methane gas and carbon dioxide, right? Anaerobic bacteria transform wastewater into biogas that contain large amounts of methane and so you have to understand between these two anaerobic bacteria. What's the meaning? Anaerobic bacteria and aerobic bacteria. Anaerobic bacteria means the oxygen is no need. The bacteria can survive without oxygen gas. You know the natural gas is produced in some of the areas. So from and Middle East, you know, you heard about the methane gas, natural gases. It is produced at under the earth. So under the earth, so some of the bacteria react with the waste or some of the waste particles. It produces the gas, but that bacteria or that microorganisms not consume the oxygen gas. No need that type of bacteria. It's called an aerobic bacteria. Aerobic and anaerobic is the difference between the oxygen. One aerobic is require the oxygen gas, and anaerobic no need the oxygen gas to grow. So you can understand. So you know this one the dead body can decompose by this the anaerobic bacteria, right? You can understand that what I mean the anaerobic and aerobic, the simple thing. Transform organic matter in the wastewater into biogas that contains large amounts of methane gas and carbon dioxide. Energy efficient process, often used to treat industrial wastewater that contains high levels of organic matter in warm temperature. It can be used as the pre-treatment prior to the aerobic municipal wastewater treatment. Okay. The complex organic biodegradable compounds is the some of the charts. You can see the complex organic biodegradable compounds, hydrolysis, soluble compounds, sugars, amino Right, some of the issues, internet issues. Okay. Fermentation. Fermentation, what's the meaning? Fermentation. Fermentation means passivima. Passivima. It's a cold fermentation. The fermentation in English, the translation, the chemical breakdown of the substance of by bacteria, yeast, or other microorganisms, typically involving everseen, ever, everseens, and the giving of the heat. Right? The fermentation. So do you know the microorganism is react with the waste and produce the heat, the fermentation. You can understand. In singular fermentation, passivima, the fermentation. The chemical breakdown of the substance. Here, substance means the biodegradable particles by bacteria or yeast. You know, yeast means yeast, right? Okay. The fermentation is the reaction. Simply, you can understand. CO2. So that CO2H2, CO2H2, acetogenesis, acetic acid. So on methanogenesis, CH4 gas, CO2 is the reaction. In so one of the example, this is in sugar factory, right? At the sugar factory, and we produce the sewage water. What are the reaction is happening? So for sugar factory, sewage water, right? Okay. Then the types of anaerobic diester. The following is a partial list of diesters can be categorized according to main criteria by whether the biomass is fixed to surface or can mix freely with the reactor, liquid and by the organic loading. The following is a partial list diesters. Normally, do not diesters. So you have to get the clear-cut idea of digester. Digesters can be categorized according to two main criteria by the whether the biomass is fixed to a surface or can mix freely with the reactor liquid and by the organic loading. The flow anaerobic sludge blanket and see this suspended growth high rate digester with its biomass clumped into the granules that will settle relatively easily to and with typical loading rates in range 5 to kilogram COD per meter cube per D chemical oxygen demand, right? It is methanogenic methane producing diester that evolved from aerobic cherished, right? Carriage. Like this one, yeah, CH4 plus CO2, effluent, clarifier zone, reaction zone, granular biomass, right? It's the effluent. So you can understand what the effluent means, the sewage water, the treated sewage water, right? The effluent. This is the gas production, the methane gas plus carbon dioxide, right? And effluent, clarifier zone, reaction zone, granular mass, biomass, right? This is the clarifier. The forming a blanket of granular sludge which suspends in the tank. Wastewater flows upwards through the blanket and is processed by the anaerobic microorganisms. The process, um, the forming blankets. So we see what's the flow, the process. The forming blanket of granular sludge which suspended in the tank. Wastewater flows upwards through the blanket and is processed. The anaerobic microorganisms, the upward flow combined with the settling action of gravity suspends the blanket with the acid aid of flocculant. The blanket begins to reach maturity at around 3 months. Eventually, the aggregates form to dense compact biofilms referred to as granules. Biogas with high concentration of methane is produced as by the product, and this may be captured and used as energy source to generate electricity. So methane gas can be used for generate the electricity. The heat produced and the byproduct of electricity generation can be reused to heat the digestion tank. UASB reactors are typically suited to dilute wastewater test streams 3% with the particle size. Okay, the particle size greater than 0.75 millimeter. I will send the recordings, the previous one also. I think 2, 6, and 9. I did not send that one, the video practical videos. Tomorrow, today I will send. Okay. The heat produced as a byproduct of electricity generation can be reduced to heat digestion tank. UASP reactors are typically suited to dilute wastewater streams 3% TSS with particle size 0.75 millimeter. Right. Then expanded granular sludge bed. It is variant to USB consent, faster rate. This is a faster rate. Faster rate, a velocity either accomplished by utilizing toll reactors. So you know the version toll reactors. So here you can understand. This is the reactor. Overall of the components. So and if effluent is there, effluent is sewage water and effluent salt treated water. So sludge, this is the reactor source, right? Incorporating an effluent recycle for the wastewater passing through the sludge bed. The increased flux permits partial expansion of the granular sludge bed, improving wastewater sludge conduct as well as enhancing segregation. What's the meaning the segregation of small inactive suspended particles? Segregation. We will see the what's the meaning of the segregation. Segregation. Segregation can when creamer. And in the English, the action of state of setting something apart from other people or things or being set apart. So simply we can say setting apart. Segregation means setting apart or shielding. So separation, segregation means separation. The Venn creamer, hmm? Right. Segregation of so separating of the small particle inactive suspended. So you can understand small particles, inactive suspended particles from sludge bed. It's a separation process. It is appropriate for low strength of soluble wastewaters, 1 to gram soluble COD per liter for wastewater that contain inert or poorly biodegradable suspended particles, right? EGSB, biobed, granular sludge bed, the cover plate, glass tight, gas. This is one of the reactor, one type of reactor, EGSP, expanded granular sludge bed. It's a produced the biogas. It's a effluent, wastewater is in effluent. Effluent is a treated one. And during the treatment of sewage, it produced the biogas also. This is the components, influent distribution system, expanded granular sludge bed, degasifying unit, central unit, effluent collecting system, gas collecting space, cover plate, right? Okay. anaerobic filter. Anaerobic filter. The digestion tank contains filter medium where anaerobic microbial populations can establish themselves. No need to oxygen gas. They produce the less solid residue than other types, right? This is the anaerobic filter system. You can understand. Huh? It's effluent and ineffluent, right? Then next, upflow anaerobic hybrid reactors. It involves that production of a few phase attached biomass into a regular suspended growth system. It contains both suspended and attached growth biomass, which is developed by the introducing porous materials. It is introducing porous material into the regular activated sludge unit. You can understand this introducing porous material, regular, this one, right? Regular activated sludge unit. So you remember this, what's the meaning of sludge? Sludge production in the sewage water. Sewage water, this one. So sludge process, sludge removal, and very important part in the sewage treatment. Right. It combines the UASP reactor with an anaerobic filter. This combination is an advanced form enabling improved solid retention time in the treatment of wastewater. This wastewater can be built up in the secondary chamber and must be removed daily. This is the anaerobic flow anaerobic hybrid reactors. This is the arrangement. This is the influent. Influent is normally you know. This is the sewage water and effluent, the CH4 plus CO2 gas, upflow hybrid anaerobic filter, right? Fluidized bed reactor, the type of reactor device that can be used to carry out a variety of multi-phase chemical reactions. Fluid gas pass to solid granular material at high enough velocities to suspend that solid. This process, known as fluidization, imparts many important advantages. This is the fluidized bed reactor, right? This one, the solid particles gas. It can remove the solid particle also. This one, the gas. Here, merits high degree of waste stabilization, low production of excess biological sludge that can be directly dried on sludge drying bed without further treatment. Okay, low nutrition requirement, no oxygen requirement, production of valuable byproduct methane gas, organic loading limited, less land requirement, no feed condition, post few, no few do not affect adversely to the system. Okay, this is the Fluidized bed reactor, one of the treatment unit is water treatment. So no feed condition, few months do not affect adversely to the system, can work seasonally. Incomplete breakdown of organic compounds, no through nutrition removal. Again, later aerobic purification with nutrition removal is often needed, right? Most efficiently purification in the metabolic range 30 to 37 days at room temperature. This one, yeah, by influence must be treated in most cases. Less robust system with regards to toxicity and inhibition risk of odor problem. Right. Some of the topics one. The preliminary treatment, you already see this one. The primary treatment and the secondary treatment, right? This is the unit, wastewater treatment unit. So you can study this one. I may ask, no need to don't ask this one. But you can understand what's the meaning, primary treatment, secondary treatment, the flow chart. Through sewage screening and communicator and this grid chambers, grid disposal and primary clarifier through primary sludge treatment. This one important thing. Sludge treatment post disposal. This one, right? The row or this one air compressor and return sludge pump, aeration tank, this air compressor, the secondary clarifier, secondary effluent. So you have to understand, but the effluent means the flow in input flow and output flow. Secondary effluent means output flow. Flow means the water. So you can get simple idea. Can study for the knowledge. Knowledge means the sludge treatment for disposal, return sludge, right? This is the waste treatment process. So I can take the class up to 12:45 because today I start the class little bit late, so I can continue up to 12:45. Your time, lunch time, I think normally 12:45. So I can continue up to 12:45, right? Okay, 12:45. Simple definition: the primary treatment, removal of waste waste water continuous, such as rag sticks, floatable grit, and grease that may cause maintenance or operational problem with the treatment operation process and operation process and ancillary system. Right, preliminary treatment. These are the processing units. Preliminary treatment consists of following units. There's a screening, grid chamber. I may ask the question, right? The preliminary treatment consists of uh, wastewater treatment. So you can simply write the screening, grid chambers, communitors. No problem. I will give the questions as assignment. Step of questions. You can. Primary treatment, removal of a portion of suspended solids and organic matters from the wastewater. Advanced primary treatment. This is the enhanced removal of suspended solids, organic matter from the wastewater, typically accomplished by the chemical addition or filtration known as the coagulation. We will see the coagulation test. Practically, we will see how to do the calculation, flocculation. Flocculation means the mixing, and the jar test also there. We will see later. What's the meaning of the coagulum? As already I see, the chemical components, the alum is equal to coagulant. It's create big particles, thinner particles to from thinner particles to bigger particles. It convert, right? So, it's a coagulant process. And flocculation also simply can say the mixing, the flocculation, right? The primary treatment consists of following this one sedimentation. Sedimentation means the prior precipitation, coagulation, flagellation, primary settling tank, secondary is the settling tank, right? Next, secondary treatment, removal of biodegradable organic matters. The important one. Organic matter, insoluble or suspension state, and suspended solids. Disinfection is the also typically included in the definition of conventional secondary treatment. So removal of biodegradable organic suspended solids and both nitrogen and phosphorus. Secondary treatment process for wastewater application, aeration system, biological treatment system, sludge and biosolids. So do you know what's the meaning of the sludge? Aeration. Aeration means injecting the air. Injecting air means the injecting the oxygen gas, right? But then secondary treatment consists the following process: activated sludge process, uh, activated sludge process, oxidation bonds and lagoons, trickling filter, tertiary treatment, removal of residual suspended solids after secondary treatment, usually by granular mediums filtration or micro screens. Disinfection is also typically part of the treatment. Nutrition removal is often included in this definition. Territory treatment consists of following process and units. And then the territory treatment consists of following process and units: membrane filtration and separation, dechlorination and disinfection systems, reverse osmosis system, ion exchange, activated carbon adsorption, physical, chemical, physical or chemical treatment, right? Functions of water treatment units, unit treatment function, screening. Some it's a very important. I ask the questions from during the exam time. Unit treatment function and the screening is a floating removal of floating sediments, removal of suspended matter, coagulation, suspended matter are part of colloidal metal and bacteria. So chemical methods, ion manganese remover, filtration, remaining colloidal dissolved particle matter in bacteria, disinfection, filtration, remaining colloidal dissolved matter, bacteria, disinfection, pathogenic bacteria, organic matter. So it's an important function of what treatment unit treatment and function. Function means removal of the particle, removal of the units, right? So carefully you study this one. This one. The filtration means the remaining colloidal dissolved matter bacteria. I may ask the question for 6 marks. One is screening, sedimentation, coagulation, filtration, softening, aeration, chemical use, order taste, right? You study this one. And source of domestic water, domestic waste water. This is one. The toilet flushing, bathing, laundry, kitchen, and others. This is the source of domestic wastewater, right? We study this one. A typical wastewater plant, bar screen, grid chamber, primary setting, activated sludge, biological treatment. Also, you have to understand this is a biological treatment and activated sludge. Final settling, chlorination, constant basin, the activated sludge recycle, sludge thickening, and sludge digestion. So you can understand that. What's the meaning of digestion? Sludge digestion, our food digestion. The same meaning. Processes are different. The food digestion is in our stomach. Digestion is right. Okay. You hear my okay. Visible. Mm. The primary treatment, the sediment is primary treatment process. Sedimentation is fecal water treatment process used to settle out suspended solids in water under the influence of gravity. The removal of efficiency of primary treatment process. Removal efficiency of biological oxygen demand. Primary treatment process 30%. So removal of efficiency of total suspended solids in primary treatment process is 60% each. Okay, right. This is the sedimentation plant, sedimentation tank, right? This is the secondary treatment process, stabilization ponds and lagoons. The stabilization ponds are opened, flow through basins specifically designed and constructed to treat sewage and biodegradable industrial waste. They provide long detention periods and extending from a period to several days. Pond system in which oxygen provided through mechanical aeration rather than alkyl photosynthesis. Normally, you know, but I mean, I already told the photosynthesis. The, the plants produce the food procedure. This from the sunlight. So called the photosynthesis.
ඉතින් මෙලොන්දින කොම බිල්ල එකට
They
හොට්
consume
කරලා
the
මෂ්රූම්
oxygen.
එකක් තියෙනවා ක්‍රිස්පි චිකන් එකක් තියෙනවා
Sorry.
ඒක තමයි large fried rice එකක් තියෙනවා ඒක තමයි large
Who mute the oh, CT2 ask to mute. Right. Okay. Right. This is the photo. This one we see this one. The photosynthesis. The plants product the foods from product the food using sunlight and carbon dioxide. There's a method is called photosynthesis. You already studied in ordinary level also. That the procedure is called photosynthesis. Are called aerated lagoons. Lightly loaded ponds used as territory step in waste treatment for pollution of secondary effluents and removal of bacteria are called maturation ponds. I already explained its meaning. It's allowed to grow the organism, microorganism like and allowed to grow and remove the bacteria. Right. The activated sludge process, wastewater, this is an important thing that one. Activated sludge process, wastewater containing organic matter is aerated in an aeration basin in which microorganism. Organism aerated in an aeration basins and aeration basin in which microorganisms metabolize the suspended and soluble organic matter. So you have to understand the inactivated sludge process, wastewater contain organic matter. Organic matter means what's a CH component. The plants is the organic matter, right? The organic component. The plant is aerated and aeration basin is the microorganism metabolize the suspended and soluble organic matter. All right. The activated sludge plant involves wastewater aeration in the presence of a microbial suspension, solid liquid separation following aeration discharge of clarified effluent. wasting of excess of biomass and return of remaining biomass to the aeration tank, right? Activated sludge plant involved. Wastewater visible. Okay, right. The solid liquid separation following at aeration discharge of clarified effluent, wasting of excess biomass, and return of remaining biomass to the aeration tank, right? The removal of efficiency of activated sludge process. The metal, this is the aluminium monothallium, same as monothallium is called. AS means one of the metal. This one Pb. Manganese, silver. Ag means silver. Cadmium, Cd is equal cadmium, ferric, chromium. This is the removal process in this the sludge reactivated sludge removal process. So it's used in COD procedure, chemical oxygen demand is used in this one, right? The flow sheet of an activated sludge system, primary treatment and secondary treatment, raw waste. This one the screen, grid primary settling. This is the flow sheet of activated sludge. So you have to understand the activated sludge. In future, we have to use the word activated sludge in the calculations. So, sludge systems, the primary settling, the sludge digester, sludge drying is the primary treatment. Secondary treatment, activated sludge aeration tank, the final settling, treated effluent, the return sludge, the pump, is the flow sheet of the activated sludge. So everything is a precipitated particle, precipitated under the wastewater. Just the unit activated sludge. Sludge simply we can understand there's a mud from the water. That's not the actual thing, but like mud. And the waste of heap of waste, right? Simply you can garbage heap of this one. HEAP, heap of garbage, right? The flow sheet of extended aeration. By aeration is injecting the air, raw waste, the green, the aeration, say injecting the air into the tank, settling treated effluent, the pump return sludge, the sludge drying digester. This is the one of the treated effluent. This one the solid particles. This is the liquid thing. Liquid as materials remove the treated effluent. This a solid particle is precipitated here, like mud or sludge. Right? Classification of stabilization ponds. Stabilization ponds may be aerobic, anaerobic, fluctuative. Aerobic ponds are shallow ponds with a depth less than 0.5 meter to maximize penetration of light throughout the liquid depth. Such ponds develop intense algal growth. Anaerobic, you can understand what's the difference with aerobic ponds and anaerobic ponds. Okay, and aerobic ponds are used pre-treatment of high-strain waste. Such ponds are constructed with Ponsa constructed with a depth 2.52 meter as light penetration is unimportant. Flaculated ponds, the functions are aerobically. Simply you have to memorize the aerobic and anaerobic condition, right? Ponds, anaerobic bacteria, aerobic bacteria, right? Flaculated pond functions aerobically at the surface while the anaerobic conditions prevail at the bottom. They are often about 1 to 2 meter depth. The aerobic layer acts as good check against odor evolution from the pond. Right? This is the symbiotic relationship and functioning of regulative stabilization pond. The raw waste, these are the schematic process. Simply you can understand this one, right? The raw waste, the settlable solids, select organics, organic acids plus NH3, right? This is the effluent alga bacterial cells, right? Oxidation ditch. The oxidation ditch is the modified from the extended aeration of activated select process. The ditch consists of the long, continuous channel oval in shape with two surface rotors placed across the channel, right? A typical oxidation ditch. In effluent, oxidation ditch is a rotor, this is effluent, this is a return activated sludge. A clarifier and effluent, and this one. The view of oxidation ditch. The oxidation ditch means the like the pond they are mentioning the pond, like. Territory treatment process consists of following the filtration process, trickling filter, disinfection process. Trickling filter is an attached growth process in which microorganisms responsible for treatment are attached to an inert packing material, right? Removal of efficiency of trickling filter. The removal of efficiency of total organic carbon from trickling filter is greater than 90%. Working of trickling filter, waste water, microbial this one, trickling filter. What's the meaning? The microbial slime layer. So you can understand the anaerobic condition is aerobic and anaerobic wet media. The trickling filter system, this one, this one, the rotating influent, the distributor, domed enclosure media, AR influent, treated water, and this is a recycle pump. This slide. This is schematic diagram. And the top view of trickling filter. You can understand the top view of trickling filter. Okay. This is one wastewater treatment. So you can understand, can study for knowledge deeply. You can. This is an important thing. The functions of water treatment units, right? The functions of water treatment, you study this one. Unit treatment and functions, the screening, sedimentation, coagulation, the function, the color soda taste, and primary treatment. So I can give a assignment so that type of questions normally to attend the exam. I think I will send the assignment question soon. Today 10, tomorrow day, then this month I will send the I will say give the question as a 3 or 4 question combinedly. You can send the answer as a PDF after 1 month. I will give the 1 month time. You can write the answer. Normally, you no need to search other sources. Whatever I gave you, you can find the answers of the assignment, right? That's one. That's one enough to studying exam also. Right? Examination questions. Right now, nearly the 1 o'clock. I start the class little bit late. One of the bug is there. Okay. Uh, we will see the next class. I think coming Wednesday. Okay. Coming Wednesday. Tomorrow. Okay. We will see. Coming Thursday. Okay. I will send this PDF now. Okay. No problem. I will send. Okay. We will see the next class. Study this PDF. Okay. Okay. Thanks to everyone.